Good morning, everyone. We begin the third book of the Torah this week, and the opening verse says, Adam ki akriv mikem. If a person will bring an offering, will bring a sacrifice to God. And the question that's asked on the very first verse is, why does it say Adam? The more common, typical, used word in the Torah for a person is Ish. Ish is a person. But here it doesn't say Ish, it says Adam, a man. And the question is why? And various answers are given. And they all relate to the first Adam, in the Garden of Eden. One explanation is that the Torah is telling us that when you sin and you bring an offering, a lot of times people think, what difference does it make what I do? You know, there are billions of people in the world, lots of people are doing bad things. Just add one more to the list. You know, what difference does it make in the big picture? It's just another drop in the ocean of all the terrible things that are going on in the world. The Torah says, think about Adam. When Adam was created and he ate from the tree of knowledge, he was the only human being. God was just watching him, so to speak. All eyes were on him. The fate of mankind depended on his action. And the consequences are being felt till today, because we know that as a result of the sin, Adam eating from the Garden of Eden, from the tree of knowledge, death was introduced into the world. So till this day, every time you hear of a death, and there's a sadness and a tragedy or a loss, we're still suffering from the original sin that Adam committed when he ate from the tree of knowledge. So realize that your actions have great meaning in the eyes of God, and whether you do good or bad, and there are consequences. And don't think God has so many other things to worry about. He's focusing on you just like he was focusing on Adam. But also realize that just like Adam did teshuvah, you could bring a sacrifice and do teshuvah. Just because you've done wrong doesn't mean that you're permanently in that position of sin, but you could redeem yourself and elevate yourself through teshuvah, just like Adam did teshuvah for his sin. That's one answer. Another answer given, which is actually Rashi's answer to this question, is that it's teaching us a very important lesson about sacrifices. When you make an offering to God, make sure it was just like Adam's offering. You see, when Adam gave an offering, he only gave from his own possessions. Why? Because he was incapable of stealing, because there was no other people in the world to steal from. So everything belonged to him. He had a right to take from everything. Therefore, what the Torah is saying is, God only wants an offering that is unblemished, meaning it's not taken through dishonesty or thievery or robbery. You have to only offer what belongs to you. You can't offer what belongs to someone else. And therefore, make sure that it's from gains and money that was earned honestly. As you know, when a person dies, the Talmud says there are 4 questions you're asked when you come to heaven. The first question is, did you deal honestly in business? And even if you gave a lot of charity, it doesn't redeem you from the fact that you stole money or cheated people. And God says, I don't want that offering. Keep it. I only want untainted money that was earned, as they say in Yiddish, kosher fadint. It was earned honestly. And, just like courage means that there's a fear, but despite the fear, you act courageously. If you have no fear, there's no courage. Same thing with faith. Faith doesn't mean you have no doubt. It means despite your doubts, you still have faith in God. Same thing with honesty. It means despite the fact that there was temptation, you still were honest. There was a story last week. A man in New Jersey, his name was Mike Wiersky, went into a store and bought a lottery ticket. And he was so busy with his cell phone and his wallet that he left the ticket on the counter and he walked out. And a day later he realized that he didn't get his tickets. He went back to the store. He said, did anyone see a lottery ticket? And they said, yeah, a woman came and returned it. She found it. They gave him back his ticket. When they called out the winning numbers, he won last week $273 million. And he said, I want to know who this person is because I want to give them something for my winnings. And the woman came forward, and when they interviewed her, she said, my mother raised me to be an honest person. I would never take something that doesn't belong to me. And she said, if I had to do it all over again, I would do it all over again exactly the way. Now imagine if the person who found the ticket said, you know what? I'll give $272 million to charity. I'll just keep $1 million for myself, but I'll give $272 million to charity. Wouldn't that be better than returning it? And Torah says no. I don't want your charity, no matter how much money it is, if it's not your money, if it wasn't earned honestly. And that's lesson number one. You want to bring an offering? Make sure it's money that belongs to you.